In other videos, I discuss sensory systems that are driven by interactions with waves, like vision and hearing. I also talked about sensory systems that were driven by chemical interactions like smell and taste. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the other sensory systems. Specifically, I'm going to discuss our sense of touch, thermoception, and nociception. Touch is probably the best known of these three. I like to refer to touch as being a mechanical sense because it's driven not by waves or chemicals, but usually from actual contact and physical interactions. With most of the other sensory systems I discussed, there were also very specific sensory receptors. I mean, our sense of hearing, smell, and even taste really only have one type of sensory receptor. Even vision only has two, rods and cones. However, touch has a couple different types. These receptors are located throughout the surface of the skin and even on internal parts of our body too. There are four main types of cells, each responsible for specific aspects of our sense of touch. The first are what's known as Merkel's discs. These are activated based on light pressure, so like if someone just lightly brushes your arm. Meissner's corpuscles respond to heavier pressure, as well as to lower frequency vibrations, like the feeling of wind blowing on your skin. Located a little deeper below the surface of the skin, we have the Ruffini corpuscles, which are especially geared to detect sensations of stretching. Deeper still, we find the Pacinian corpuscle. This receptor is particularly activated with higher frequency vibrations. So instead of that light breeze, think of something like sitting in front of a jet in a hot tub, how strong that frequency would be. The Pacinian corpuscle is also activated by more transient and stronger forms of pressure as well. These receptor cells are all included in our sense of touch, but there are other receptor cells that are located under our skin that are considered parts of other systems. For example, we have thermoceptor cells that interact with heat and cold and give us a sense of temperature that are located along with these other cells under the skin. Together, they give us the sense of thermoception. There are also special receptor cells that detect pain signals that give us the ability to sense pain, or nociception. This one is interesting because many people think of pain as being a really bad thing. Obviously, nobody wants to feel pain. It isn't pleasurable. Well, at least for most of us, it isn't pleasurable. However, it's an important part of our survival that we have the ability to experience it. When we experience pain, it's a strong motivator to avoid the cause of the pain, which is usually something that can be damaging or even deadly to us. In fact, there's even a very rare genetic disorder that leads to people being born without the ability to experience pain in any way, and it actually can be really dangerous for these individuals. Just think about how much damage you could do if you picked up a hot pan and didn't feel how hot it was. Whether you feel it or not, it's still going to burn your skin the same. Now, whether we're talking about nociception, thermoception, or touch, all these sensory systems connect to neurons that travel through our spine up to our brain and ultimately to our somatosensory cortex in the parietal lobe of our brains. If you're enjoying content like this, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and give me a like by pressing the thumbs up icon below. This helps me to continue to expand these videos and provide amazing content to all my viewers. Thanks for watching, everybody.